in your body beautifully and comfortably if you are not even who you are. You're always pretending to please somebody else. You can never live this life then as we are meant to live it. And life is our university. It is our university. And as we go through today, we'll see everybody teaches us something. And nature loves us so much that if we connect with her, we connect with the gods. And we connect with the gods, we connect with the spirits. And then we connect to our spirit. And when we understand our spirit, we understand the universal spirit. And that's what we're here to do. This is our journey. See, that's life. That's our university, isn't it? The subject matter today is life is our university, and it really is a university. I keep saying this again and again. I don't know why we are not taught in schools and told that one day we, as we know ourselves, is going to end. But not only we as we know ourselves is going to end and goodbye to this body, but everybody around us is going to go one by one. I remember I had one school teacher, and actually she was Indian. I was in a convent school in Hong Kong, and she said, we were talking about difficult things, and as a teenager, my boyfriend ditched me, or this one was difficult. And then she said to us, and I really remember her words, she said, you don't know difficult till you get older. She said, when you start to lose all the family around you, then you know difficult. And she said, that's when you need to know you must never stop praying. But prayer for me was, like most of us, was repeating these words. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Da 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 da. Ekongka Satnam Kartabor. Just repeating words without any depth in the words. Until we learn life is our university. And we really, and this is why I love this work, because we are here ultimately, now that you really, really know, the lesson is to learn that nothing is yours, that everything goes. That's the lesson. So, but during our lifetime, we gather possessions and we make them all belong to us. Possessions and people. And clubs and societies and communities, and everything now belongs to us, when truthfully nothing is ours. So we can't enjoy life because we develop these great attachments. Then I remember once my daughter actually asked me the most incredible question. When her first child was born, she said, Mom, I've come to your yoga classes. And we talk about she studied the sutras with me many, many years ago. So you talk about non-attachment. But I look at my baby, and I definitely am so attached. I said, Mom, what's going to happen to me? And so I said, this is life. Thank God you are a little attached to your baby, or very attached to your baby. Because if you were not attached to your baby, you would not get up in the middle of the night when the baby's crying and needs food because, I'll just sleep through this. You're so detached. You need to have that attachment and love to experience the love of motherhood, to experience. But the problem starts when we think this belongs to me. No, this child is a gift, does not belong to you, as you will never belong to me. But you are my gift on this earth. And my job is here to guide you, but I cannot do it for you. You see, what happens with us in life with attachment? we not only take people to be our own, we also want to control their lives. We want to control the way they think. We think they need to think this way. I talked about this last Wednesday, actually, at Satsang. I said, when I first went in to hear Gurudev at Satsang, and I remember thinking, oh, I'm not the one that needs to be here. My husband should be here. Oh, my brother should be here. And then it was only with years of meditating and learning. No, I was there because I needed the training. They didn't. So I stopped saying, oh, my husband should be hearing this, or my daughter should be hearing this, or my friend should be hearing this. In my mind, see, my mind was everywhere, judging what everybody else needs, wanting to control the way my husband thought, my children thought. And then I realized this is all attachment. I am here because I need to let all this go, not them. They are my university to let it go. They have to give me so much trouble in order for me to let them go. Because if everything is smooth sailing, you don't want to let them go, do you? You don't. So this is why we get lots of lessons in life. And you will notice again and again, it is always the people who are really dear and dearly close to you that will give you the most headaches. And what do you have to learn? There's two things you have to learn. Some people have to learn to stay and stick it through and go through it. And other people have to learn that they don't need to stay, that they need to have the courage to walk away. And we as human beings, we never know when to walk away or when to stay. Some relationships are so toxic. I wonder why they stay in it for so many years. I had a 72-year-old woman come to see me because her daughter said she had to see me. She was miserable, crying all day long. I don't know what to do with my mom. She's on antidepressants. I can't do anything. So I asked the mother, why are you so depressed? 72-year-old woman. She said, my husband comes home drunk every night. He swears at me for half an hour, 40 minutes. What do? I make his dinner. How long has this been going on from? From the moment I got married. Did you tell him? Yes. Have you screamed at? We have fighting matches all the time. Children are grown up. Your daughter is like, what, 50 or 40 something? Your daughter's told you to leave. Why haven't you left? Because I'm a sinner. My church says I can't leave. I'm a sinner. And I said, but look at what's happened to you. Are you not a child of God also? What's happened to all your life? And she just burst out crying. She said, except for my children, my 2 children, my son doesn't want to talk to me anymore because he thinks I'm foolish. Except for my daughter now, nothing good. 72 years, don't you think that's rather sad? So I said, why didn't you leave? What will people think? So I said, how many of those people are with you now? None, because they said they're tired of my tears. So you sacrifice an entire life. What will people think? And none of them are with you now when you could have definitely done with their friendship. How sad is that? How sad is that? It was a toxic relationship for so many years, but out of fear of what people think, or a sinner because she's going to be doomed to hell. I said, you're already in hell. You don't need to go to hell. Your whole life has been a hell. Don't you know heaven and hell are on this earth? You're going through hell now. It's on this earth. After we die, as my father said, it's just love. And if you read Anita Mojani's book, have any of you read her book, Dying to Be Me? And I've actually met her. I met her when she gave her first talk in Hong Kong, 6 months after she survived. She went through near-death experience, and she had cancer, and she went. And she had an angel guide, and they showed her very clearly that after death there was only love. She said she saw the Jewish tradition praying for her because she had friends from all over, Catholic tradition. They were all praying, but the prayer was the same, the energy was the same, the love was the same. It was only love. And if you read Betty Eadie's book, Embraced by the Light, it's a beautiful story. How everybody has a purpose, even the worst person. And she talks about, in her vision, when she left her body, she saw this drunkard on the side of a street. And he was just a drunkard, every day begging for food. And she saw this picture of this lawyer walking past every day, this drunkard. And it was because of the drunkard that he became a lawyer. Because by watching this drunkard every day, he said, I don't want to grow up to be like him. I'm going to make use of my life. So that drunkard alcoholic had to be there to teach the other one. And then when I went to Sri Lanka with Les, and you'll remember this story, we had a driver take us around because we were doing some charity work there. So he had to take us from place to place, the places that we were traveling to. So we're in a car, so I'm asking him, I said, Bimal, where were you when you had the huge tsunami in Sri Lanka? He was living near Hikkaduwa. We were in a place called Hikkaduwa. So he goes, you will never believe what happened. So we asked him, what happened? He said, Christmas Eve, he lived like an hour or two away from this, up in the mountains, right? Further away. And every Christmas Day, because remember it happened on the 26th. Yeah, Christmas Day he was home, and every Boxing Day they went down to pass Hikkaduwa to go to her family's home, to see her, to see her family, his wife's family. But he got so drunk on Christmas Day, so Boxing Day couldn't get up to drive them, the family. And his wife screamed at him. Do you remember him telling us the story? And he actually divorced her later on, didn't he tell us that too? Yeah. Yeah, he was telling us that, right? Because she screamed at him and screamed at him, and he was feeling so bad that he had spoiled everybody's holiday. Thank God he did. They would have all been dead.
You see, sometimes parties actually save your life. Sometimes parties save your life.
And you know what? Yes, and because it hit him so much, the whole thing just, oh my God, that's when he woke up. He told us he woke up. And I think that's when he left his wife, and that's when he stopped drinking. And that's when he stopped smoking as well. I think he told us he stopped doing both of them. And now he had a new woman that he was... See, everything had to shake him to make him realize. And what was his realization? Oh my God, I don't want to die without living. That was the realization. It's like this, the shock of losing a partner. And at the time you were going through it, what do you think? You can't go on, you want to, it's too dark, it's too painful. But I promise you, you just have to go through the pain and you will come to the light. And what makes it easier is to understand the fact that we are all on loan. Are you on loan? You're all on loan. You don't belong to me, nobody belongs to me. Do you belong to anyone? We're all on loan. And when you watch people's lives, as I've been to I've been many deathbeds, and when they're on their deathbed, and I always ask them the question, because nobody else does, are you afraid to die? And they tell me, yes, I wish more people would talk to me about it. I'm afraid, I want to talk about it. So I talk to them, and I tell them, well, you're going to lose your body, and maybe if you have a chance, give me some messages from the other side, and then I talk to them about the other side and how life, everybody's going to go. Not to worry, they'll meet everybody in a few years, and then they get a little comforted, right? And on the deathbed I have noticed that if the person hasn't realized their spirit or soul, or connected with a higher self, they haven't connected, they haven't felt that love, they're very lost, and that becomes hard. For those who are connected, it becomes easy and very beautiful. It just does. So because they feel safe, they know they're not the body. They have really learned that. And our master used to say, Nalanie, people say, I'm going to follow my spirit when I'm older. But you don't know when you're going to die. None of us do. You didn't know that your husband was going to fall flat and just go. You didn't know your husband's going to die in a bathroom in Cuba. You didn't know your husband was going to die. I didn't know my husband was going to die suddenly in 6 weeks. 6 weeks was sudden for me. So, we don't know these things. It's too late. The song, Say It in the Living Years? Yeah. It's too late when you die to admit you don't see eye to eye. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it in the living years. We all have contracts with each other. All of us. There's no it's not just, oh, you happen to be here, but we all have known each other. And we're all picking off each other. I may look like the teacher and you may look like the students, but really you are my teachers as much as I am yours. It's just contract. We've chosen this play. We've chosen this movie. Now, what are we going to do with the movie when the parts are very disturbing? This is when we fight against it. We fight against pain, but pain is necessary for us to learn this big word, detachment or non-attachment. I prefer to use the word non-attachment because non-attachment doesn't mean you stop loving. Non-attachment means you have space to love more, and because nothing is yours, you are more likely to treasure it in the time you have it. You are less likely to waste your time. And even in your sorrow, this is where you will realize the dark night of the soul. This is where you will understand hell on earth. This is hell. I'm going through hell. Heaven and hell are here. So let me go through this hell and let me come out quickly. This is the only thing you can do. Allow me to come out quickly and come to the other side. This is why I find more and more the best cure for people is to sing and to dance, simply. Sometimes I tell, in the old days I sit and meditate, but when you're in such a dark place, you can't. What saved me? Friends. The friends saved me. What saved your father? Not all the tapes you gave him of Gurudev and your mother of Jehovah's Witness. Drove him nuts. He just wanted to laugh. That was his connection to the divine. And I have learned, if we learn to laugh through the pain, bittersweet, yeah, sure. If you would learn to laugh through the pain, that is the universe. A master used to say, we are just here. This is a school. It's a school to learn about ourselves. So we are sent so many lessons, and when we don't listen to ourselves, we get caught in the pain. So we have to learn about ourselves. Who am I in this given personality? And this pain has come to me. What do I do with it? Initially, you just have to learn to live through it. And getting up from day to day is the hardest thing. And if you get up every day to that pain and you're willing to challenge it, my God, you already learned the lesson. You have to, because you will understand hell on earth. And we need this. Otherwise, we wouldn't experience heaven on earth, would we? Without the hell, how do you have the heaven? The universe is duality. The moment we step on this earth, we are in joy, pain, hate, love. You know the song. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season. You know that song? It's an old song. Every time I sing, I show my age. But the young people don't know it. You see? Singing, laughter, joy. Religion is not suffering. There's enough suffering in this world. I never forget the first satsang my guru gave in Gibraltar, and I asked him to speak on world peace. And his first thing was, how can I even talk about world peace when you don't have personal peace? Don't even discuss it. He said, have you seen the vegetarians? They go around, that was the age when they started to burn all the furs. Yeah, burn the furs, they break the shops, they burn the furs. And they say they want world peace. Who wants to be vegetarian with them around? Do you know? It's only violence that they're teaching. You cannot teach with violence. And again, it's a judgment. I'm a vegetarian, so I'm better than you. We really don't know what our path is. We really have no right in judgments. I know all the schools will tell me off for saying this, but they can, and I'm sorry if I lead you down the garden path. I don't think it's what you eat that makes you. Of course, what you eat helps the body. It does, and it can endanger your body too, and I do recommend vegetarian food. But if you are not a vegetarian, that's up to you. It's not up to me. It doesn't make you good or bad. In fact, it's not. University is not about good or bad. And how many of you have been to university here? Okay, great. University is an experience. Did you enjoy your university life? Anybody? Yeah. Oh, I just loved mine. I was super happy. Because every corner there was something new to learn. But then American universities are great fun, actually, because you can even create your own course, which is, and I studied art therapy. I want to use all the arts to use it as therapy for young teenagers. And they made this course specially available for me. It's so nice, isn't it? That's one thing I loved about my university. But you go to university and, some subjects are going to be great, and some subjects are just not going to be ones that you like. And if you go to American university, you have to take 120 units to pass. But 40 of those units have to be in subjects that you don't really care about. You just have to take an all-rounded course. So one of them was physics, and I had to take it, and I go, I don't really like physics, I don't know what I'm doing here. I had to take it, which was really good. But when I went to the physics course, I was so surprised, because I also took philosophy, and studying John Kant in those days, and Cicero, and Plato, and Aristotle, and I was seeing there was some combination with the physics and these people, and the mathematics. Oh my God, in spirituality there is physics, there is mathematics, there is number. And of course, a few years later, you realize the binary system, 0 and 1, which my husband taught me about, because he used to draw these wonderful programs. And I said, how can this be a program? It's all 0 and 1s. We're made up of 0 and 1s. Well, we're made up of numbers and energy. So university, sometimes you think in this life, this is not meant for you, it's not good for you. But afterwards, when you go through it many years later, and now, I love physics. The last book I read was Einstein, His Greatest Mistake. I never thought I would buy a book like that or read it and love it. I actually loved it because I understood E equals mc squared, which I never understood in my life. And it was exciting that spirituality and physics and numbers and everything was divine. It was so clever. And this is why. So the functioning was, the mindset in our university is how we want to look at it. So what I learned, and I think what we all need to learn in life, is not what is happening to us, but what does it equate to our energy level, to our mind stuff, to our spirit, because we are spirit and we are going to leave this body. What does it equate to this short time? What is the equation I have to make in myself in order to make the best of my life? And this is why when you're suffering, you need to kind of make a routine. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this. From this time to this time, I'm going to be really sad and cry. And for this time to this time, I'm going to make myself happy. Because it's an equation. We are an instrument. And if we can look at ourselves as an instrument and design a cure plan for ourselves, it's not going to be pleasant because you don't want to do it. But it's not always about what we want to do. And sometimes if we think it's always about what we want to do, we're going to learn in life, bang, you're going to be hit on the head. No, guys, you think you want to do this, but maybe this is not meant for you. Of course, as you think you will become. So the stronger you get in yourself, then what you think you will become. Nowadays, people tell you, and this is again why I love Sri Patanjali, he is so honest and so truthful. He says the spiritual growth takes a long time. You never stop working on yourself. Never stop. And you must love what you do. And you will be definitely 100% successful. And I've seen this in every case I've worked with. Everybody I know that have worked with themselves through meditation, through song, through laughter, but through contemplation, quiet time. You do need quiet time, because if you don't have the quiet time, you are not going to be able to watch the contents of your mind. And if you don't understand who you are and what you are thinking, you are always thinking that you are thinking what other people are thinking, because that's what we do half the time. We are thinking for other people, and we are thinking they're thinking this about us. Oh my God, what a messed up mind. We don't know who we are, what we want. And then we don't settle in our bodies, and we don't enjoy this university. And remember, some classes are just going to be so boring that you're going to fall asleep. And some classes are going to be so phenomenal that you never want them to stop. But we have to move on constantly. From childhood in a baby's body, we have to go to a teenage body. From a teenage body, we go to a young adult. From a young adult, we get to old age. It just comes along, creeping along. And we just have to go through all the stages, watching ourselves. This is the spirit. Watch your spirit. Observe it. Because if you observe your spirit, you stay young inside. Doesn't matter if the body creaks here, you're still young inside. And if you're young inside, you are inspired. If you are inspired, it helps us through the difficult times. So really never stop learning. Never stop growing. And the thing about spiritual people nowadays, they think that I've realized and that's it. How boring. Our life will come to a full stop. We never stop learning. Nature teaches us, gives us surprises every single day. It gives us surprises. So this question of God punishing and not punishing, no, it is everywhere. It is consciousness. It is consciousness. Don't see this man, although the avatar has a beard. Avatar has a beard, and I'm going to explain that now. It is just the teaching and the essence, right? So what is an avatar, and why we talk about gurus or this in order to learn about a spiritual life? The word guru just means remover of darkness. That's all it means, simply. Now they talk about business gurus or, internet gurus, right? So what is an avatar? I believe my master is an avatar. Many people believe Lord Jesus is an avatar, and Buddha, and all these are avatars. So, because divine God is not a person, as we're so drilled into our head, has to have a form, it can't be a form. How can it be a form if it made it out of itself? It must be tree, right? It must be ground. And this was a great shift in consciousness for me, because you can know it here, but you got to know it here. And again, the guru, the avatar, has a connection. It's like it's energetic.
It's like a channel.
Like a channel, total channel. Total channel. And even our guru said, he said, I am like a flute, and I just let God play me. And if I'm a fool, then I'm God's fool. And if I can serve, then I'm serving for God. Do you see? He was so open to being a fool. And he was so open to being a guru. He was open to being whatever it chose. That pureness, that channel, that flowing through. You see, we in our lives are not open to it because we don't believe that the consciousness works through us. We think it works through everybody else except us. So the guru's positioning is to reflect the light back to us. What we think, what we're feeling, what we already know but scared to say. All things need to be treated with respect. But however, the world we live in is so crazy, isn't it? So we get caught in this university, and we get so involved in wanting to do everything that is right, that looks right. Can I put the word looks right, but doesn't feel right within ourselves. We get caught up. So what is right within ourselves? This is what we really have to get in touch with. And again, and I tell all my students, please memorize this one sentence, because it saved me. And I can say it again and again and again, because one day you will just get it. And I had to say it so many times to really understand it. And it is, what is a perfect action? He said, Nalanie, a perfect action is one that causes no harm to anyone. Say it with me. Some benefit to someone, yourself included. And he looked at me like this, yourself. He went like this, yourself included. Okay. And that's when I learned to say no. And not feel guilty about it. And people say, you should be more spiritual. You say yes to everything. It's called discriminative discernment. And then, how do you deal with the world when you have this knowledge? Because you really want to love everyone. You really want to care for everyone. And then he taught me another thing. In this university, you can help no one. And I cried my eyes out when he told me that. What do you mean I can help no one? He said, help yourself first. Because there was, again, thinking, control. I can make you better, or I can make you. I cannot do any of it. I can just love with no strings attached. The moment I put strings attached, I'm in pain and suffering. The moment you put any strings attached, aren't you in pain or suffering? You are. That's what causes it, because we attach things to ourselves. So this freedom, this real non-attachment, this university, and this is why things happen to us. So many different things, and especially somebody so close to you. Each one of you, I'm sure, has had a real battle with the person who's been really close to you. And if you haven't had a battle, you've lost somebody really close to you. And that's the hardest battle of all for me. So this is why, all these English sayings, make hay while the sun shines. Because there will be dark periods in our life. Guaranteed, okay? No lies, guaranteed. So prepare for them. This is the university. It's like it before you go in an exam. If you don't study, you just walk in and you'll fail, right? So if you study life and watch the way nature works, here today, gone tomorrow, here today, gone tomorrow, and watch the seasons, and watch the colors, and watch the plays, watch your emotions. One day, madly in love, next day, I'm not in love. And just watch it as the river flows, and know it passes, everything passes. Like the river, the waves will all go eventually into the sea. And we will too. And then you watch your emotions without judging them. And somebody said to me, oh, Nalanie, my friend has treated me so badly. She swore at me, but I'm a yogi and I'm a good friend, so I'll just take it. And I go, that's pretty foolish. That's also, does it hurt you first? Does it hurt you? Yes, it hurts me. So how many times are you going to let it kick you before you tell her you're not going to do it anymore? How many more times are you going to do it? But I'm being good. Are you really being good? So you're falling to the floor. Not a perfect. It's not a perfect action, is it? And she's raising herself up. Every time she sees you, boom. I don't call that friendship. Do you? What do I do? We've known each other for years. Tell her. And what if she doesn't want to be my friend? I said, boy, you'll be blessed with friends like that. You don't need enemies. You see, it's even the attachment to not good things in our lives. It's because, and we give it a really nice name, because I'm a good person. oh my God, let people call me a bad person, at least I live in peace and the other person lives in peace. Because the more you allow somebody to hurt you, the more karma they are building. Because you are allowing it. You are allowing it. You need to say, no. I'd love to be with you. If you want to be with me, these are my conditions. But we're too needy, so we don't dare say what we really think and we really feel. But if somebody really loves you, they will just understand that because they don't control you. And that's the greatest relationship in the world, where there is no control, just love. And when things are not working, it's not my way is better than your way. We don't know which way is better. We really don't know. And we have to allow people to grow in their own time, in their own way. It's very cruel to say to somebody, ooh, you're like this and I can't stand you because you're like this, change. You're like this, Sri Patanjali tells us what to do. What does he tell us? Disregard the wicked. Don't give them attention. He doesn't tell you to hate them. He doesn't tell you to love them. He just says, don't give them energy. No energy. Just walk away. Shake the dust off your feet. In other words, people don't want you. Don't even carry the remnants of their dust on your feet, because they affect your energy field. Remember, we're made up of those zeros and the atoms and all that. We're all vibrating. We're vibrational. We're vibrational. We are. When you did the yoga class this morning, or people who did the yoga class, didn't you feel the vibration in your hands after the class and the crown of your head when you're in deep relaxation? Couldn't you feel the buzz? That's who you are. We're connected all the time. And this is why in all traditions, they say this is the connection. And that's why in babies, it's so soft, because they still have the connection till we get older and proud and egotistical, becomes hard as a knot, you know. And we do this to ourselves because we allow society, news, politics to affect us. Yes, this is the world. It's always going to be wars, and there is always going to be suffering. But our job amidst this nonsense is to find the sense. And what keeps us whole and what keeps us connected is that love, that generosity inside ourselves, that kindness. When we are kind to ourselves, we can be kind to other people. So find the kindness in yourself. Find the goodness in yourself. This is our work, because then we can deal with it. And so when you find somebody is not kind to you, you also realize you are that person. So you don't deserve it. Do you deserve it? None of us deserve cruelty, but it's going to happen because it's going to happen to teach us who we really are. Because if these people didn't come to our lives and make us suffer and cringe, we wouldn't be looking for something higher. We wouldn't be looking for something more meaningful. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, you are all spirit, as I am too. And the avatar comes, or the guru comes, because they already have learned that truth. So through their high vibrational field, this is why they say when you're in the presence of the guru, you feel a vibrational field, because that's called darshan in our language. Darshan. What does darshan mean? Being in the light of. So if somebody shines a torch in a dark room, you can see everything in the room. So that's the job of the guru. It's just shine a torch, but you have to see what's in that room. They can't tell you what's in the room. They know already. They're just shining the torch so that you shine your own torch and start to learn about yourself and your mission, the universe. What role are you playing? You will know your role by where you are right now. Right now tells you what you will be in the future. You see, we kind of imagine our things to be, ourselves to be something, and maybe that's not what we're meant to be. Maybe we're meant to be much, much, much more. So when things go wrong, Don't be afraid. Maybe this job wasn't for you. If many things did not go wrong in my life, I would never have found this job. I didn't even want it. I really didn't want it. I really resisted it. And I had no choice. And I'm so glad I had no choice, because the universe wouldn't let me go. Neither would my master. When I used to starting to teach. And I'm so grateful now. I'm so grateful because I have met the most incredible human beings in my life. Some monsters too. That's taught me a lot. All the monsters have taught me, I don't want to go there and I don't want to be that. I don't see they're happy. They can pretend, but I don't see peace in them. So they have taught me that my goal in life is peace and harmony. Because it's very sure. So within this hell, there is also a heaven. There is also this beautiful heaven. And our job is to connect through vibration to this heaven. And for me, that vibration is love. It's deep love that comes from your heart, joy. It connects you. And when you're in dark periods, just remind yourself of those times. Just remind yourself, not with sadness, but I had that time. And if I had it, I will have it again. It will come back. Remind yourself, give yourself hope, because without it, we're all finished. But there must be a reason for existence here. What do you do on this earth? Whatever you're given to do. Every day you get up and just thank nature that you still can breathe. Step number 1. Just, I can breathe. Use me. Nothing comes, be happy. Something comes, be happy. Yeah, that's the secret. If it didn't come, it wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. And if it comes, whoa, you know. You know, sometimes we just need those nothing happening time. Nothing. It's really good for us. Because you see, the biggest problem, and the Bhagavad Gita points this out so clearly, is our desires. They kill us. They strangle us. It's our desires. But if you are patient, as the mantra goes, every desire you have, you will receive, and you will be liberated from it. Because you realize that every desire you have, even if you get it, leads you to a dead end. The desire to find love. One day, the partner dies. Correct? So, this is the constant trap. So does it mean we live without desires? No. Live with the highest desire of all, which is peace. And then when you lose, of course you will suffer. Of course you will be in pain. But you will understand, because you have worked all those years, and all the years that you have worked with yourself and understood that you are consciousness, will be there waiting for you, and your best friend of all. Your best friend of all. And you will know then that you were never really ever alone, and that everything was just beautiful as it was. Beautiful as it was. Because that's what you learn, what you came to do in university. So make friends with the deep God within yourself. That's the best work. Because you're God, you're God, you're God, you're God. We're all going to end up in consciousness. It's quite funny, actually. We just wanted to be the light and experience these things. So we shouldn't get angry at the experience, but go through it with peace in our hearts. Go through it with peace in our hearts. You cannot take away the pain. It's a good learning.